Hi there, everyone. I'm Ashley Bullington, the host of the Warmup. On behalf of everyone associated with Inside High School Sports, we want to say our hearts go out to everyone affected by this unprecedented weather event. We see the hardships people are going through across our cities, and we hope that all of you are finding a way to manage through it. While we are here to entertain you, we also want to be a communications resource for those of you in need. Saying that, here's a list of warming stations as well as shelters available in your communities. We will also be posting this list to our social media accounts. Though we know times are tough, we also know that some are looking for a few moments of release from the challenges of the current situation. So I hope these few minutes of the warm-up can do that for you. We truly appreciate your loyalty and your viewership. Please all stay safe and use the resources in your communities if needed. Hi, I'm Ashley Bullington, and you're watching The Warmup, presented by your local North Texas Geico agents in the Colony, Keller, Arlington, Flower Mound, Plano, and Mesquite. Hello there, everyone. I'm here to get you warmed up. Yes, you heard me right. I'm here to warm you up after one of the coldest weeks Texas has ever seen. But we'll be bringing the heat. Yes, the heat, with all of the playoff hoop action on this week's episode of Inside High School Sports. If the weather permits, we will be at the Trinity and Keller game for their bi-district matchup. The Trojans finished third in District 3 6A and had one of the toughest teams in the state to compete against in North Crawley. Their district record was 8-4 and overall 11-9. This team isn't the highest scoring of them all, but they play a solid defense, as opponents have scored less than 1,000 points on them this season in their 20 games. Keller finished second overall in District 4 6A, and they were 9-3 in league play with losses to Byron Nelson and Eaton High School. The Indians are a high-scoring team as they average 74 points per game. They are taking a 5-game win streak into this matchup, and it should be a good one. Marcus and Prosper are going to go at it on the hardwood if weather permits as well. Prosper finished third overall in District 5 6A with a 6-6 record. They dropped their final district game to Geyer 60-58, but were on a 2-game win streak before that. They did have some big league wins against Geyer, Little Elm, and Allen earlier in district play. Their opponent, Marcus, has been a solid team all season long. The Marauders finished 12-2 in district and were the 6A champions. Their district losses came to their two rivals, Flower Mound and Coppell. They averaged 56 points per game and have devastated their opponents with their dominant offensive attack. This should be our game of the week if games go as planned. We'll have all the highlights from those games and more on this week's episode of Inside High School Sports. You're going to have to go outside in the snow to cool off after watching all of the action Saturday at 6:30 p.m. on NBC5 because it's going to be hot. Speaking of heat, make sure you vote on our Hot Play of the Week poll presented by Louisiana Hot Sauce for a chance for your community to move on to compete in the Play of the Year. Here's last week's winner. The St. Mark's Lions truly have the heart of Lions, as they have been playing basketball this season, even though they will not get the opportunity for a postseason run. That isn't all of the adversity they've had to face, as in 2020, a tornado took out their gym, a pandemic threw their season up in the air not once but twice, and winter weather almost ended their season without getting to play the remainder of their schedule. But none of those factors have deterred these guys from putting on the St. Mark's crest and stepping onto the court to play with one another, earning them our local North Texas Geico.
A tornado and destroying our gym. So this year, just kind of not knowing if we were ever going to be able to play and not being able to practice as a team. And the few games that we did play, I had to miss 2 of them because of my parents testing positive. And then just never knowing that if you hang out with the wrong person one day, you might be out for another 2 weeks. It was just really, really weird and hectic.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely it wasn't great news to hear that we weren't going to be able to have a postseason, that the SBC weekend was canceled. But, I think we all just wanted to play at the end of the day, and we wanted to play like the seniors. They wanted to play their last season of basketball in high school. Or
piggyback off of Tate, I think was definitely tough news hearing that we weren't going to have playoffs, but I think everyone here had the same mindset that they just love basketball and we're just going to cherish every game we have. So I think that's the type of mindset we had. So we just came in, had every game we had, played hard, and that's how we came into the season, knowing that we're going to have a limited amount of games. So
I would definitely say like the biggest thing was probably perseverance. And since we weren't able to play a lot of the time, I think just keeping each other accountable and getting up shots outside of school and practicing outside of school and just maintaining like your hand and your jumper. I mean, you can't get in, the school gym to practice for 3 weeks or like up to a month. I think it was definitely keeping each other accountable.
Now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the warm-up, the extra point. Skyline boys basketball coach Paul Graham announced last week that he is retiring from the game at the end of the season. Graham has coached at the high school and college basketball levels for almost 50 years. The game has been made better by this man, and he will be missed. A DFW product is getting some big-time love, as Plano Prestonwood alumni Julius Randall has had a season for the Knicks. After he dropped 44 points in a win earlier this week, this is what his teammates had to say in their post-game interview.
And Emmanuel quickly, 16 more points, 5 more assists. Well, there's a number of players waiting to be part of the post-game interview. Let's go to Rebecca
this man
right
is not
now.
an all-star, it's a problem.
Oh, yes, that's right, Mike.
That's all we have for this episode. Follow all of Inside High School Sports social accounts to stay up to date on everything going on in the high school sports scene. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube that throughout the week will get you ready for the main event. Wing Stuff Inside High School Sports, Saturday at 6:30 p.m., hosted by Pat Doney. Thanks for watching The Warm-Up, presented by your local North Texas Geico agents in the Colony, Keller, Arlington, Plano, and Mesquite. To get more information or a quote, go to geico.com/DFW. I'm Ashley Billington, and I hope you're warmed up for all of the action coming at you this week on Wing Stuff Inside High School Sports.